Cargill Animal Nutrition, we use three principles to guide our business: integrity, respect for others, and a passion for success. These old-world ideals allow Cargill, an international corporation with assets and expertise around the globe, to conduct business in a small-town, face-to-face way. Let's see what that looks like in our Albany district.
Retains, not too bad. Twins. How'd the vet check go on Monday?
It was okay.
A lot of pregnancies.
Our consultants visit your farm on a regular basis. Their involvement and time commitment will likely make you feel they are an additional employee on your farm.
Russ is our nutritionist, and he's a very integral part of what makes our farm work so well. He completes our little circle of information.
It really works well for us to have Russ come to the farm. Not just anybody come to the farm, but Russ come to the farm every 2 weeks, because it gives us continuity in our feeding program. He's earned our trust. He's working for us. He's worrying about our bottom line. He's worrying about the health of the cows, and that's very evident.
3s, 3.5, 4s. Got a few 5s, but mostly 3.5, 4s.
There's a few outliers.
They work with you to assess the health of your animals and to determine the best diet for them.
Well, plus it keeps the risk of bacterial growth. We're a fairly decentralized company. We're able to do what makes sense right here in Saratoga or in the Northeast based on what our customers' needs are. As far as the ration itself for McMahon's, we've worked hard to fine-tune the ration based on exactly what they're doing at this farm, based on their forage, based on their hay or their grazing situation here.
We feel as though the horse's general health has improved through the use of our Cargill feed. The horse's coat has never been better. Our horses exhibit tremendous bone density. They also mature at a rapid rate, which is due in part to pedigree, but it's also because we've got a good line of feed into them.
Their feed we're making for them today is specifically formulated for growing and developing horses, pregnant, gestating brood mares, and knock on wood, we've had a great success rate. I mean, Kentucky Derby winner was born and raised on this farm on the feed.
Yes, Funny Side was foaled and raised here, and ate a lot of nutrient feed.
Through comprehensive testing and analysis, they find exactly the correct nutritional formula for your animals. Using Cargill's proprietary software, your consultant relies upon the vast resources of Cargill's global assets to ensure your animals are getting just what they need to be productive, healthy producers.
20, 24, and that's through the heat. That's pretty darn good.
And as your forage and silage change, we make the adjustments that ensure consistency in your animals' diets.
If we increase the sugar levels a little bit and make some adjustments on digestible NDF, we probably can get a lot more of them kernels digested.
Week to week, these ingredients are changed so the nutrient profile stays the same on the farm day after day, because cows crave consistency. That's when cows perform the most profitably. That's what does our customers the most good, is to give them consistent set of nutrients day after day to meet their nutritional needs.
These custom mixed feeds, prepared exclusively for you and your operation, are what we call Cargill's Focus Feeds.
We do our own formulation. We do all the formulation on the farms and at home, and then we send the formulas directly to the mill. And it's the partnership that we have with the mill that is huge, making sure that what we know is supposed to be in the feed ends up in the feed and in very accurate numbers.
The job of making focus feeds with the great accuracy they require takes place at Cargill plants like the one in Swanton, Vermont. Here again, our approach is quite different from our competitors.
What we're accomplishing here and how it differs from what our competitors are doing is that our competitors balance on ingredient amounts, we balance on nutrient amounts.
At Cargill plants, every ingredient to be used in our feed is tested for its nutritional contents. So unlike our competitors who use a standardized book value for the nutritional value of their ingredients, we need to know the actual nutritional value of our ingredients. Cargill's global assets include laboratories that provide cutting-edge analysis to plants like Swanton.
When we test ingredients as they come into the plant and we find that they're outside the boundaries of what we'll accept in terms of variation of nutrient or a key quality or a toxin, we'll reject the load. That load will not be allowed to go through the process of entering our plant. That load of feed winds up somewhere, but it will not come to a farm through our system. We keep track of the ingredients, variations, and nutrients by supplier. If we have a supplier that's supplying an ingredient that varies greatly in a nutrient that we're interested in, we will go back to that supplier and say, sorry, we can't do business here. It takes too much for us to keep up with that variation in order to keep things consistent on the farm.
Now, the custom recipe for your feed created by our consultant doesn't mean much unless it's mixed properly and accurately.
4%.
Cargill has developed technology to assure the most accurate batching possible.
25.4.
The team at the Swanton plant using the repeat system turns out an incredibly high volume of custom mixes with precision unrivaled in the industry.
So you gotta have 561 pounds?
The latest development is our proprietary software for the short mix portion of our batching. The short mix is where very small amounts of minerals, vitamins, and other ingredients are mixed into our multi-ton batches. Other operations add these small amounts to the mix without computer support. In our system, the operator swipes the bag for identification. The computer determines the quantity required. The weight of the bag is registered. The ingredient is measured out. The computer screen clearly indicates when the correct amount has been dispensed, and the ingredients are added. At Cargill, the element of human error has been eliminated from the short mix. The system is so rock solid in its accountability, it also provides us with our daily FDA-required reports on quantities of medication used within the plant.
These short mix items are added to the feed in small amounts. For example, this is 16,000 pound batch, and we're looking at a total amount of vitamin in there at 2.4 pounds. Another one at 7.6, another one at 2.4. So, 2.4 pounds in 16,000 pounds is very, very minute.
As a result, we've got the nutrient content correct, we have the amount of ingredient correct, so when we deliver that feed and the customer takes that feed out of the bin, he knows that he's got exactly what was recommended to him by our consultant on the farm.
But our feeds aren't the only reason we have satisfied customers.
There is, but we know what we'll do. We'll Penn State screen it and find out what it comes
Our
out.
consultants have such an investment in the health and productivity of your animals that their efforts go way beyond selling you feed.
If I have a problem, Russ says, we'll take care of it. Before he even knows how to take care of it, he'll answer, we'll take care of it. And he will follow through and get the answers that we need.
For a long time, when I was first here, we had an awful laminitis problem, and we couldn't really get down to where it was coming from, and we couldn't really figure it out.
So I finally said, we're going to get some experts in here and see what we can do to get this done. We brought in Dr. Shearer from University of Florida and had put on a hoof trimming seminar. We learned a lot about the trimming here, and from that we made a lot of changes in how we manage the cow's feet and the hoof trimming on this farm.
I don't ever feel that Russ is selling grain. I think he's providing a service, and part of the service he provides ends up with a net sale of grain.
It's a relationship that develops over time. And so you've got this big corporation, yet it comes down to this one person interacting with that farm and its employees.
Yeah, Cargill might be the biggest feed company in the world, and I know that they are, but as far as we're concerned, they could be the smallest company because Russ gives us such good service. It's like dealing with your next door neighbor.
Won't you share our passion for success?